Stanford University.
Good morning, I'm Dr. Tia Rich, founder and director of Stanford Medicine's Contemplation by Design program. This morning, we will be receiving a guided practice with the Reverend Dr. Joanne Sanders. Dr. Sanders will be speaking a bit about the practice of Metta and then guiding us in a practice of Metta, which is a loving kindness meditation. The Reverend Dr. Joanne Sanders retired in July 2020 as Senior Associate Dean for Religious Life after 20 years at Stanford University. She is a priest in the Episcopal Church and earned a Master of Divinity from the Church Divinity School of the Pacific at the Graduate Theological Union in Berkeley, California, and a Doctor of Ministry from Seattle University in Seattle, Washington, with a concentration on interdisciplinary leadership. While at Stanford, Reverend Dr. Sanders was instrumental in developing a significant partnership with the Office for Religious Life and Contemplation by Design on campus, teaching and facilitating a number of contemplative programs at Windhover Contemplative Center and Memorial Church. Currently, she is completing a 2-year mindfulness meditation teacher certification course, a collaboration between Sounds True with the principal teachers of Jack Kornfield and Tara Brach, and the Greater Good Science Center at UC Berkeley. Reverend Dr. Sanders also serves as a non-stipend priest associate at Trinity Church in Menlo Park, California. We warmly welcome you, Joanne Sanders.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much, Tia, for that generous introduction. And it is an absolute privilege to be with you all this morning. I am currently located now as we are permanent residents of Colorado Springs, Colorado. So it is a wonderfully delightful 32 degrees at the moment. But I feel the warmth and the generosity here of being with you all virtually. What I'm going to do is spend a few moments just sharing with you to give some context for our time together this morning. And it will help us, I hope, set some intention together about this practice of loving kindness so that it gives some ground and foundation for what it means and really the wonderful impact it can have on all of us. And so as we do that for a few moments, then I will lead us into the guided practice, a guided practice of loving kindness. And then at the end, I'll strike this beautiful Tibetan bowl 3 times to end our time of meditation together. So let me just begin by sharing a few things that I have found to be very helpful. And I should say that one of the reasons that I chose to lead us and guide us in this meditation is that a loving kindness practice has become incredibly foundational to my own practice. And it's been very meaningful to me and has really made a difference. And I hope that it will be something that you find accessible and meaningful for yourselves. So let me begin by saying, and some of you may be very aware of some of these things that I will share, but loving kindness is really described as a meditation that connects and awakens us to all of life. And it is a wish for not only ourselves, but others to be safe, to be healthy and well, to be happy, and to live with ease. That is really the foundation of loving kindness. And it really is a beautiful way that invites us to pay attention and open and soften our hearts. And what we see is that cultivating our hearts really goes hand in hand with mindfulness practice, which means that seeing and opening our hearts keeps us present. present to ourselves and present to others. It really intentionally is a way of waking up the heart. Maybe we can think of it as a way to almost counteract sometimes a negativity bias that exists in the world and in our time that can make us begin to feel separate or alone. And really what loving kindness does is it establishes a pathway befriending our lives and each other. And the beautiful result of that is it can almost manifest this direct sense of belonging. And I think we all can register the fact that a sense of belonging is very much a part of being human. And loving kindness is a pathway to that. And it really cultivates maybe 4 distinct attitudes. We talk about unselfish friendliness, compassion, appreciative joy, and equanimity, which is another way of saying equanimity as a mental calmness, even in very, very difficult situations. And so this practice of compassion, goodwill, loving friendliness, as I said before, has been such a part of my own direct experience with meditation, and it also relates to overall well-being. And so it has really been a really wonderful practice that I've discovered, and I'm so glad to be able to share it with you all this morning. So what we will do is a traditional way of starting a loving kindness practice has been to begin with ourselves, but we're going to not do that quite that way this morning. We're actually first going to start with someone that we naturally love and care about. And I like to think about this as it helps to start where it works, where it might be easiest, maybe opening our hearts in a very natural way, and then directing our loving kindness little by little to places where it may be more difficult. And you'll see that as we walk through the guided practice this morning. So let me invite you all, as you're able, to just take a moment right now and find how you sit comfortably and at ease, whether it's in a chair, on the floor, if you are one who has a cushion that you like to sit on, or wherever you may be. Let's just all take a moment to get comfortable. Perhaps with your feet comfortably, if you're sitting, maybe placed on the floor, maybe slightly upright in your posture, where you feel comfortable. And I just want you to take a moment or two right now to begin to let go, if you can, wherever you notice yourself holding some tension. Maybe loosen your shoulders, soften your hands. If you have them placed on your thigh or just above your knee or at your side, soften your hands and relax as best you're able. And take a few really deep breaths, just naturally and slowly, how that feels to you. A nice deep breath, and inviting those breaths to create space for you, for some tenderness and warmth to inhabit your whole heart and chest area. And as you take these deep breaths, you might even feel a smile of some kind begin to spread through your eyes, softening them a bit. And then even a slight smile to your mouth, maybe feeling it gently loosen any tension in your jaw or around your lips. And together, let's just sense ourselves seated here in this community together in this great mystery of human life, halfway between heaven and earth, described as a thin place. And take a moment to bring a kind, gentle, steady attention to yourself. And now I invite you to think of someone that you love and you care deeply about. I invite you to bring their image and presence to your mind. Take a moment to consider the qualities you most appreciate about them. It could be their kindness, their wisdom, their gentleness, their vitality, their humor. And as you've got this image or this sense of presence of this person in your mind and heart, bring these natural phrases of good wishes and intentions. You can use other phrases than what I will share with you, but do what feels natural and right to you. Holding this image and presence of this person that you love and care deeply about, just repeat these phrases. May you be safe and protected, free from inner and outer harm. May you be truly happy and content. May you be healthy and strong as much as is possible. May you live with ease and well-being. Take some time to imagine how it might be for this person to experience the fruit of your blessing, of your loving kindness, the fullness of your love, self-acceptance, peace, and freedom. Next, imagine this very same person whom you deeply care about and love is offering you their loving kindness. Picture how they might look at you with care and love as they would say to you, may you too be safe and protected. May you be truly happy. May you be healthy and strong. May you live with ease and well-being. Now take in these good intentions and heartfelt wishes and turn them toward yourself. And if it helps, you can even place your hand on your heart. May I be safe and protected, free from inner and outer harm. May I be truly happy and content. May I be healthy and strong as much as is possible. May I live with ease and well-being. Now bring to mind widening your circle of caring and loving kindness to a neutral person. This would be someone that you might see regularly, though you don't know very well or feel strongly about. Could be someone you encounter in the grocery store or coffee shop. Could be a postal worker or someone that cares for your surroundings or your environment. Take a minute to bring an image of this person into your mind right now. Maybe recall how they look or how they speak. And remind yourself that they too wish to be happy, safe, free from suffering. And so as you bring them into focus, use the phrases to extend loving kindness to them with their image and presence in your mind. May you be safe and protected, free from inner and outer harm. May you be truly happy and content. May you be healthy and strong as much as is possible. May you live with ease and well-being. Now bring to mind someone with whom you might have a difficult or challenging relationship. This might be a person who evokes frustration, fear, or anger or hurt for you. Take a deep breath, and as best you can, bring a kind, non-judging attention to any feelings that might be arising for you right now. And if possible, look to see if you can discover an aspect of basic goodness, even in someone that you might have a difficult relationship with. And even if that is difficult, as it very well can be, remind yourself that all beings want to be happy. They want to avoid suffering and pain. Life matters to this person as it does to you. Holding them in a gentle and steady attention, begin offering them intentions of loving kindness. May you be safe and protected, free from inner and outer harm. May you be truly happy and content. May you be healthy and strong as much as is possible. May you live with ease and well-being. As we begin to move into our last practice of loving kindness, this is when I invite us to allow our awareness to really begin to expand and to open out in all directions. Imagine yourself as a beacon, spreading the light of loving kindness like a lighthouse. Imagine yourself igniting your neighborhood, your city, your country, around the world itself, even toward the vast space of sky and beyond. And imagine yourself as you share these intentions of loving kindness, saying, may all beings far and near, all beings, young and old, beings in every direction, may they be held in great loving kindness. May they be safe and protected. May they be truly happy. May they be healthy and strong as much as is possible. May they live with ease and well-being. Let me invite us now just to sit in the sweetness of silence and really breathing in this sense of loving kindness to those you love and care deeply about, to yourself, to someone you may not know very well but see often, and in fact, to everyone, whether close in your neighborhood, on Stanford's campus, in your city, in our country, and in fact, throughout the world. Let's take a moment together in silence to embody that loving kindness. Mark Nepo, author and poet, wrote this in the Exquisite Risk. My soul tells me we were all broken from the same nameless heart, and every living thing wakes with a piece of that original heart, aching its way into blossom. This is why we know each other below our strangeness. Why, when we fall, we lift each other. Or when in pain, we hold each other. Why, when sudden with joy, we dance together. Life is the many pieces of that great heart loving itself back together. Life is the many pieces of that great heart loving itself back together.
Reverend Sanders, thank you for our guided practice. If anyone wishes to raise your hand or type something in chat, feel free to do so at this time.
Tia, if I may, thank you. While we're on the screen, one of the wonderful practices that I've learned is because so much of our life these days has been virtual, that even as you're comfortable, to maybe find one person on the screen and just with just a tiny little bit of intention, just wish them some loving kindness. As you maybe focus on one person, just pick someone, because this is a community that is gathered right now at this moment on November 2nd. So maybe there's someone that you see on the screen that you just want to focus on and just extend to them some loving kindness on their day, on their life, and in the days to come.
We've received one question for Reverend Sanders. The question is, when you have feelings that are not so loving toward yourself, how do you manage that?
Thank you for that question. And also I would say in that question, know that you are not alone in having some difficulty expressing loving kindness toward ourselves is actually one of the most and more common challenges for us as human beings. And that is certainly a common refrain I hear and many people hear, that it's difficult. And I think as we use the word gentle, that taking small steps to really try to see yourself as a person, a human being who is so worthy of love and of acceptance and of care and of compassion. I think it's really easy for us often to look beyond ourselves and offer all sorts of care and compassion to others. And we forget to do that to ourselves. And so we create these impossible standards for ourselves. And so I think just to even use a bit of this practice today as much as we can, and to not forget that we want to extend that love and that worthiness to ourselves, and not see that as something selfish or really not essential. Because in order for us to become more loving and compassionate to others, I think that wellspring has to come from deeply within ourselves, which means that we've taken the time to say, even when we feel like we're not deserving of it, which is our human tendency, we say, it's okay. And I'm going to tell myself that I am worthy to be loved, and I'm going to express that love and kindness toward myself. And try to begin to do that little by little. And perhaps that becomes embedded in our reality as we think about how we love others, that we start to by loving ourselves simultaneously. It's a really good question, and I thank you for asking it. And please know that it's common. And one of the things that I said at the beginning as we began together is the beauty of a loving kindness practice is that we can often feel very separate and isolated, and yet it brings us into this sense of belonging when we not only practice that love toward others, but we practice it to ourselves, that we're really part of this practice of loving community. So I hope that you'll feel that, especially you who asked that question. Thank you.
Reverend Sanders, thank you for your wisdom and your compassion.